didn't want to have that feeling that you're being pushed through the visitor centre. So the coastal walk is along there, and actually I think that's one of the things about people who come to the Causeway. A lot of the time they kind of feel they just go to the stones, and they don't see actually what's really special. And what's really special is the whole coastline. So by kind of having this walkway up, you kind of make people aware of what's really important about the site, which is this outdoor experience. This is providing facilities. It's important. It's important to the trust in terms of revenue generation, support to provide facilities. But really, what's important about this site is the outdoor site. So that was kind of the underlying thing that was driving everything. So there was a lot of manipulation on the site in order to get that to work.
So where did the basalt come from? Or literally just virtually down the road, was it?
Same lava flow. You couldn't actually take it from here because this is all protected.
Yeah.
So it's that way.
But it's just down the road.
Yes, it's 20 miles from here.
And that basalt took 18 months to put in place. There is an enormous amount of stone on this site.
Yes.
You come in here, you park your car. Yeah, somewhere in there there's 400 cars. Or on both sides.
With 3 sites for the parking.
And then that is just a retaining wall.
That's right.
And then underneath here presumably is where the loos and things are. And so in there is just shop, interpretation.
Yes.
And how many square metres?
1,800 square metres. It was limited, by planning. So in actual fact, if you looked at the number of visitors through the site and you were doing an evaluation, that building is a bit too small. So we had to look at things like trying to use outdoor areas, trying to use alternative entrances.
And we also own the hotel as well, so the hotel became a big part of this, and I think the vision of the architects was to, with returning the listed buildings to the landscape. So we're very lucky we have the hotel as well for facilities of visitors as well. So it fits in well. So you've got the old, this is an old building here, and this is an old building, and then you've got the very new in the middle. So there's a mixture of experiences.
Is this the most innovative National Trust facility?
Yes.
Are you saying that in an unbiased sort of objective manner?
No, I'm quite, yes we are, and I think one of the things we're very happy to be like that, and it's not something that the Trust would do. We had the Council of the National Trust over last week, and they actually really loved it.
Good.
Which is fantastic. The architecture panel and the Trust loved it as well, and were brought in through the whole process. But again, it was a building, but it's about making it work, for us. One of the things that people did say to me, did you need to spend that money? And when they went through it all last week and saw what we did, is our old Fiona Reynolds actually did say, the director, she came here at the build process, and it's the skills that were used in building it, from the stone, the basalt being locally quarried, to the actual set, each piece being handcrafted and set by McCall's from the Mourns. Actually, it would be something that the Trust in 100 years' time would be wanting to make an area. For the Trust to say that is a huge thing,
What was the old visitor centre like? Why did you need this one? Because it's presumably a huge transformation, isn't it?
Well, the old visitor centre was built in 1985, and at that point it actually coped with a number of 150 to 200,000 people. So that was in the height of the Troubles, which was about in the mid-90s they decided they were going to have a new one. They could never agree who was going to lead it because there were so many parties on this site, and it burnt down in 2000. So the hand was forced really at the end of the day, and at that point you had a National Trust cafe and a shop. Then you had a porta cabin, which is tourist information, that it didn't do nothing for the landscape. It just looked like a higgledy-piggledy things along the ridgeline. It was awful looking. So Russian was brought in, you won the design competition in 2005. From that, it sat for a number of years, and then the Trust took it forward in 2008.
Under the car park at that side, we have the pipework for 3 ground source heat pumps, and they actually provide the heat for the building, which is an underfloor manifold, and basically we heat the concrete, and we basically heat the building that way. The concrete's a great storage of heat, so if we lose power or for any set period of time, the building holds the heat very well. Then we use the second half of the building, this what we call the service side, and we use what we call an earth drain system, where we catch the fresh air from the sea, and we bury it under that side of the roof for about 4 kilometres. The ground insulates basically that metre drain, and we can blow the air into the building at about between 8 and 10 degrees warmer. But we use a chicane system where we actually can envelope it back and forward like that there. We can add then warm air on a colder day.
It's the best thing that's happened to say. I've been here since 2003, and the visitors actually, they sort of have an idea, because they came, they didn't know what to do, they didn't know where to park, they didn't know what to get, there was no facilities, the toilets were, and I think what we have here now is testament to the fact that we have had over, as I say, 545,000 people through the visitor centre. We've had 700,000 people who've been on the site, over 700,000 people who've walked on the site, or as well as in the visitor centre, in total. So the total number to the site, and we have an 89% percentage of people who say from their experience it's been really enjoyable, and that comes down to the staff and the people and the experience
and the architecture.
Exactly. Well, actually, the architecture, you either love it, it's like everything, you either like what we do or you hate it, and most people really, really love it, because that's what. But we also feel that it's adding to the story here. So we actually, our guides know about the architecture and talk about the architecture. We actually make a bit of fun about it. We say that we've now got 184 columns that Finn McCool has pulled from the earth. We joke about it, but we also tell them about the building and the energy as well.